It's October 2011, and in the glittering halls of the Casino Les Princes, a man known only as Parmesan sits calmly at the poker table. He looks relaxed, but beneath that calm exterior is a mind executing a flawless plan. Because Parmesan already knows that he'll walk away richer tonight. Not because of luck, but because he's about to cheat the casinos right in front of their eyes, and no one will have a clue. His mix of old techniques and high-end technology should remain completely undetectable, as long, that is, as he makes all the right moves. This is the culmination of an intricate master plan that began to take shape almost exactly 1 year earlier. In the morning light, a man in dark glasses stares out of the window. His name is Stefano Ampolini, and the day ahead involves looking good in the autumn sun. He was born into modest means, in a town where wealth was only something you heard about and never saw. But Stefano always knew that he was destined for more. Now, as he sips on his espresso by the Mediterranean, he's surrounded by the kind of luxury he once could have only dreamt of. The tailored suits, the expensive watch, the view. All reminders of what he's achieved and how much he has to lose. He appreciates the finer things in life, and they come at a price, but he's learned to foot the bill by taking money from those who wouldn't miss it, casinos and their VIP clientele. Because Stefano is a card sharp. Like Arsene Lupin, Frank Abigail Jr. and Danny Ocean, he uses his charm and cunning to relieve the rich and foolish of their cash. Money that he'll savour far more than they ever could. But here's the catch. To keep this lifestyle, he can't just get by on small winnings anymore. He needs a bigger payday, something that will keep him in the world that he's grown to love. And right now, he thinks that he's found the perfect place for his next move. Cannes, the beating heart of the French Riviera, a place where the rich, glamorous and greedy gamble fortunes just for fun. Eye-watering sums change hands every minute, but barely anyone bats an eyelid, and he's planning to bleed them dry. All he needs is the right situation. His preferred game is stud poker, and in stud poker, players are dealt a mix of face-down cards and face-up cards across multiple betting rounds. Unlike Texas Hold'em, stud poker has no community cards, meaning players must try to form the best 5-card hand possible using only the cards that they've been dealt. The face-up cards provide partial information, but it's never enough to be certain, unless, somehow, you could see your opponent's face-down cards. Stefano needs an edge. Previously, he's tried every trick in the book, but now he's after something new, something that no one will expect. He spends hours flipping through the back pages of specialist gambling magazines, scrolling through obscure forums on the dark web, searching for that one piece of tech that could change everything. Night after night, he wades through the usual nonsense, gimmicks, cheap scams and far-fetched promises, until suddenly, he spots it. The price, just $2,800 from China. It could be a con, an expensive one, but if it works, it's everything he needs. He hesitates, weighing the risk. Then he hits the buy button, hoping this isn't just another dead end. Stefano's no amateur. He's experienced. He sees cards quicker and clearer than most, but with these, he'll see through them entirely. All he has to do is wait for international shipping. Gadgets have always been part of a cheater's toolkit. Earpieces, hidden cameras, even custom-made shoes. But these lenses are a game changer. With them, he can mark the cards in invisible ink that only he can see. The lenses won't be comfortable, and one wrong move could expose him. But if he gets it right, he'll have a secret weapon undetectable to anyone but him. With a little luck, it will make his next heist impossible to beat. The possibilities are endless. But Stefano is about to make one critical error. One that he won't even realise until it's too late. Card marking is a centuries-old method, although in this case, it's different. Traditionally, cards are subtly marked by scratching, bending or applying substances to a card's back, so that later on, whilst the cards are in play, you can identify their values without seeing the card's face. In stud poker, it's perfect because it gives the player the ability to see everything, including their opponent's best move. Traditional card marking presents some rather obvious problems though. For a start, casino dealers are trained to spot it. The subtle marks are visible for everyone who knows what they're looking for, especially high-rolling croupiers. However, in this case, the lenses will refract the light in such a way that only somebody wearing a pair of these specialist lenses will see. To the naked eye, the ink just isn't there. Soon though, comes a further problem. Stefano may have the ink and the contact lenses, but he also needs access to the cards, and for that, he's going to need insiders. He could attempt to apply the ink whilst playing, but that's risky and messy. Luckily, he's found two vulnerable contacts, card dealers who have fallen on difficult times. As you might imagine, pay isn't great, with many casino staff relying on tips. Stefano offers each of them a tip that just can't be ignored. His two inside men smuggle out some fresh packs of cards. Back in his apartment, Stefano marks them up with the invisible ink and tests the technology. It works. He reseals the packs so they once again look brand new and returns them to his insiders. Discreetly, they store them away, ready for his big night. But the perfect plan is only as good as its execution, and one small mistake could unravel everything. This is a heist though. He also needs additional help, and like every good heist, everyone has nicknames. Stefano will be Parmesan, perhaps because he's Italian and cheesy. Watching casino security from a distance is Rocco Grossano, also known as the Mastermind. He might be the brains of the operation, or he might not, and with Parmesan at the table will be Gianfranco Torito, aka the Israeli, an extra pair of eyes and ears who confusingly is also actually Italian. That's bound to throw him off the scent. They've planned it thoroughly. With everything in place and the stakes higher than ever, it's time to flip things on their head and cheat the casino, along with all the greed and wealth within it. By August 2011, Parmesan and the Israeli are looking sharp, dressed for an expensive night within millionaire company. The contact lenses are in, the insiders have been forewarned, and they head to the famous Casino Les Princes. Situated inside the prestigious Hotel Briere Le Majestic on Cannes Seafront Boulevard is Le Croisière. This casino is one of three in town, known for catering to the wealthiest clients such as Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Moss. Tonight, its grand entry is gleaming with gold accents. The soft hum of jazz mingles with the sound of clinking glasses and murmured conversations. Rows upon rows of glittering chandeliers illuminate the rooms, casting a warm glow over the high rollers as they place bets as if they were nothing. Parmesan can feel the excitement in the air. It's a blend of greed, desperation and thrill. Millions of dollars are changing hands every game. Both he and the Israeli will be joining the high rollers who are playing stud poker. Now, in stud poker, casinos make money from the rake, taking a small percentage from the pot bet by all players in the game. Unlike blackjack, where a winning player takes money direct from the casino, in stud poker, he or she takes money from their opponents. But Parmesan figures they can afford it. Plus, every time you outsmart the game and give yourself an edge that the house isn't happy with, you're still damaging the greedy casino. After all, they want to be in control, and they want their margin. So in more ways than one, Parmesan will be pulling off a Robin Hood move, if, that is, the technology works on the night. The marked cards have been loaded onto the table, and Parmesan takes his seat. The Israeli is opposite him. The first hands are dealt, and as he peers through the lenses, it's like having X-ray vision. He sees his opponent's hands in full, but just in case, the Israeli confirms what he's seeing with subtle cues: sniffs, snorts, a raised eyebrow. Their game unfolds like a finely tuned machine, each play perfectly timed, and Parmesan's edge is invisible to everyone but him. In the first game, he walks away $95,000 richer. The system is up and running, it's seamless, it's foolproof, and tonight he thinks it's unstoppable. What could possibly go wrong? The money buys the lifestyle Stefano feels he's destined for a few weeks at least. He splurges on a sleek Italian sports car, a diamond-sized watch and bottles of rare vintage champagne, all as symbols of the elite world he's now desperate to inhabit. But $95,000 is just the start. He now has a license to print money, and that's what he intends to do. What he doesn't realise though is that he's made one crucial mistake. In stud poker, once betting's underway on a hand, players have different choices based on how confident they are of winning. For example, if they're sure they can't win, they can fold, exiting the hand and forfeiting any chips they've bet. If they want to stay in the game, they can call, matching the amount of the current bet in order to do so. Or if they want to up the stakes because they think they have the winning hand, or want to bluff their opponents into believing they do, they can raise, increasing the bet so that others must do the same. Now, at first, Stefano's wins are chalked up to good fortune. However, the more seasoned casino dealers are growing suspicious. Later, they say that they noticed he won very easily. And then there's that strange moment. He folded twice when he had an excellent hand, which no rational player, in any normal circumstance, would choose to do. And so, security footage is analysed, an investigation is launched, and the police get involved. But knowing a punter is cheating and proving how are two very different things. A few weeks later, in September 2011, Parmesan returns to the casino Les Princes, alone for round 2. The plan, to win lots of money, and straight off the bat he does so, banking another $28,000. But then, just as soon as he's got started, it's game over. The casino pull the plug, and leaving the building, Parmesan is arrested. His mistake that had proved fatal. The only explanation for folding, when according to all conventional odds it was crazy to do so, was that he knew another hand was somehow better than his. In his greed, he played the perfect game, when he should have just played a natural one. And so warrants are issued, phone records are analysed, and the release and return of cards by casino staff is proved. The net is closing. What the authorities need to do now is fill in the gaps. And soon, someone talks. Police seize the lenses, uncover the invisible ink technology, and 2 years later, Parmesan and his gang face trial. It's September 2013. In a court nearby Graz, the elegant Stefano describes himself as a player and cheat with an international reputation. He admits to wearing the special contact lenses, which are designed to see things that you normally wouldn't be able to see, and to being proud of his work. Overall, in just a few hands, he banked $123,000. He smiles as the presiding judge, Mark Jando, marvels at his sophisticated techniques. But then it's time for sentencing. Gianfranco Turito, the Israeli, is handed a $140,000 fine and 2 years in prison, whilst Rocco Grassano is fined $70,000 and gets 2.5 years, despite claiming that he'd simply come to the Côte d'Or for tourism and to meet beautiful women. Now, despite his pride, Stefano Ampolini, aka Parmesan, is also fined $140,000 and jailed for 2 years. But before he heads off to serve his time, he manages to drop one last bombshell. Maybe he really is the Robin Hood of X-ray specs, because he didn't just buy one pair, he'd also given pairs to other friends so that they could enjoy the benefits too. And perhaps if they haven't got too greedy, like Parmesan, they're still out there wearing those lenses today, getting away with it. And if they aren't, perhaps you could go out and buy your own.